Us humans have 5 main senses that help us navigate through the world and survive, with some other animals having more or less. Interestingly, this extends to plants too, who need senses as well to understand everything around them. So in this video, we will go over some of the senses that plants have, including light, gravity, touch, and temperature. Starting with phototropins, which are photoreceptors that detect light. Upon sensing a light source, the phototropins trigger a process called phototropism, which allows plants to grow towards or away from light. They achieve this by activating growth hormones called auxins, which promote cell elongation to control the direction the plant grows and bends in. On top of light intensity, some plants also rely on the duration of light to determine when they flower. For example, rice is a short-day plant, meaning that it will only flower when the day is short, while spinach is a long-day plant, meaning that it will only flower when the day is long. This process is called photoperiodism, and it also regulates a plant's circadian rhythm. Aside from light, plants need to detect gravity to know which direction to grow upwards in. At the tips of plant roots, they contain organelles called aminoplasts, which contain a rich amount of starch. As the aminoplasts settle to the bottom of the roots due to gravity, they trigger auxin to move to the opposite direction, which is against gravity, and direct the plant to grow upwards. This is especially useful for seeds buried in the soil to know exactly where up is, despite having no source of light. Some plants can sense touch too, with the use of mechanical receptors, often in the form of fine hairs. Once enough pressure has been felt, they will trigger a response in the plant. A classic example is the Venus flytrap. Once an insect triggers enough of the mechanical receptors inside the plant's mouth, it will quickly shut closed, trapping the meal. Mechanical receptors in the form of tendrils are crucial for vines and other creeping plants too, as once a branch is felt, the pressure sensors in the tendrils are triggered, directing auxins to make the plant grow around the branch. Lastly, plants need to sense temperature in order to figure out whether it is summer or winter, so a gene called phytochrome B does just that. This gene makes proteins to detect red light through a pretty complicated process, which then allows the plant to respond to different temperatures. This is quite important since temperature determines when a plant flowers, the shape of its leaves, when to prevent heat shocks, and much more. And there we have it. Despite lacking a brain, plants are still able to sense the world through their, senses. Using phototropins for light, aminoplasts for gravity, sensory hairs or tendrils for pressure, or phytochrome B for temperature, plants are able to navigate through the world just like we do. However, one crucial sense I gloss over is their chemical sense, which is how they primarily communicate, but plant communication is a whole different video I plan to cover in the future. I hope that y'all have learned something interesting today. Thank you for your time, and stay hydrated.